Okay, hey guys, this is your art teacher. We're working on a loom, and before we start our loom, which is eventually going to look like this before we start weaving on it, with our warp threads, and then we'll be weaving our weft threads, the ones that go from right to left. So what we're planning is the weaving design, the cartoon. So when we start weaving, we know exactly the size of the spaces and the colors that we're going to be using. So each one of my students has one of these. We go ahead and label it with your name, grade, and your team. And then we have right here, we have the underside, we have the overside, and that just helps us when we're actually weaving for us to know if the needle's going to go under, or if, like on this side, the needle's going to go over. Okay, so right now we are planning for this space right here. Some of my students are at the beginning, and some of them are already at the coloring stage. Okay, so first things first, after we have our name on our paper, we're going to go ahead, wrong way, we're going to go ahead and decide the color pattern. So I have my students choose from about 50 different Crayola colored pencils. And then I have them color in the color that they're using right there, and then they'll go ahead and use the colored pencil to color in that space. So this student, actually, well, this is me. So I chose aqua green. Okay, I don't really edit these videos, so it is what it is. So if I say something wrong, like a student instead of me, this is actually mine. If this was one of my students, I would be very proud of them. So I have the aqua green right there. I went ahead and labeled it. So whatever you see on your colored pencil, so if you missed art class, this is a great review. Whatever you see on your colored pencil, that's what you're gonna write on here. So if you don't finish your pattern, or if you don't finish your design, you can find aqua green. You know it's the right color because it reads aqua green, okay? And then, so you have the color for A, mine is red. My B, yours can, whatever color you want to choose for letter B. Mine's green, aqua green. I chose Harvest Gold for my C color, and then for my D color, I chose the mahogany, okay? So now we're going to start, we have our colors, okay? Now we're going to start planning our space pattern, okay? At this point, don't color anything. From here down, don't color anything, okay? So next, okay, we're going to be turning our paper to the side, and we're going to start planning our spaces with our ruler, okay? So, and we're going to be using the centimeters, okay? So I already have this one right here. The A is already planned. Let me turn it this direction. So the A is already planned for you, and the B is already planned for you. So if you're watching this for the first time, please take note of that if this is review, okay? Okay, double check, you know where your A is. We're gonna put that toward the bottom, your B and your C, okay? Think of this as a mirror image, okay? So if this is your face, this would be your line of symmetry right here, okay? Line of symmetry. I'm looking for my pencil. And here I thought I had everything. I'm gonna go ahead and just write it with my pen. Line of symmetry. Line of symmetry. Okay, so think of this as, this might be your nose, okay, and these are your eyes, and these might be your cheeks, and over here's your ears, and over here I tease my students, say these are my fairy wings, and maybe I have an extra set of legs or antennas or something. Anyway, so it's going to, whatever you do on the right side, you're going to do the same thing on the left, so that once our design is complete, you have a mirror image. So the top is a reflection of the bottom, okay? Okay, so then we're gonna use our ruler. Okay, I start with my students using 1 centimeter, okay? Using 1 centimeter mark. We make a mark at the top right here on the 1 centimeter, and then we also make a mark on the bottom down here at the 1 centimeter, and that gives us a reference point. So we turn our ruler, we use it like a straight edge. So I tell my students there's 2 ways that we use our rulers. You're going to either use it like a straight edge, or you're going to measure with it, okay? A straight edge doesn't even have to have any marks on it. A straight edge just needs to be straight, okay? So we're always, my ruler rule is we always leave our ruler on our paper, or we always leave our ruler on the table. We don't have our ruler up in the air. So I'm going to do that on both sides. Okay, so now I have a centimeter up here and a centimeter down there. And then I went ahead and labeled it. Letter C up here, letter C down there. So just think of them as twins, okay? So I have the B twins, and then I have the C twins. Okay, next I can either repeat and have the A again, or the B, or I can introduce a new color, which is going to be the C. I'm going to go ahead, and my next space is going to be letter B right here, letter B right there. But this time, instead of being 1 centimeter, I'm going to make it just a little bit bigger, and I'm going to make it 2 centimeters. The middle is 2 centimeters, and then I'm going to also have this be 2 centimeters. Okay, so right here, I'm going to make a mark right here up at the top. I'm going to drag my ruler down. Don't forget that the end of your ruler is not, the end right here of your ruler is not the 0. The 0 starts with the first little line. It actually doesn't have a 0 written beside it. The numbers, they start numbering at the 1, but right over here is where the 0 is. It's not the edge of the ruler. So I'm going to make a mark down here at the 2. Now, one of my students, I didn't understand exactly what they were asking when they asked this, but they said, well, how do I know where to put my ruler? And I said, well, you line it up right here, and then that's where you do it. They didn't know where to put it along this path right here. Well, it doesn't really matter, because if I make a mark on the 2 right here, or I make a mark on the 2 right there, when I connect it together, it's all a part of the same path anyway. When I connect it together and I use my straight edge to make a straight line, it's all connected. Make sure that your pattern is nice and neat, okay? So I'm going to continue with this one, and then I'm going to give you guys a couple of hints and tips and show you some examples of what you need to do next, and then I'm going to just let the teacher or whoever push pause on the video, and then if we need a review of the first few steps, we'll do that. So let me continue with this, and then we will stop the video, and I will allow my students who are watching this to work on that. Make a mark on the 2 right here. Let me flip this upside down. Sorry, I usually flip mine the other way. Make sure you guys can see. Since I'm right-handed, I like to have my ruler on the left side and my hand on the right side. Okay, so I make a mark right here and right here. These are my reference points. Okay, remember, whatever we do at the top, we're going to do the same thing at the bottom. Whatever I do at the top, I'm going to do the same thing at the bottom. Some of my students have chosen a 2-color pattern. Some of them have chosen a 3. Some of them have chosen a 4-color pattern. I like to repeat my letters, okay? So I said that I've used A, and then I have my B twins. The A is going to be the only one that doesn't have a twin, okay? Because that is the line of symmetry. That's in the very, very middle, just like your nose doesn't have a twin. I mean, your nose may have a twin, mine doesn't. Anyway, I do have 2 nostrils though. So I've got my B twins and then my C twins, and then next I'm going to go ahead and repeat my letter B. Let's get this up so you guys can see. I'm going to repeat my letter B right there. I'm going to repeat my letter B right here, and then I'm going to continue my pattern, okay? Go ahead on your rulers, remember your ruler rule, leave it flat on your table. Go ahead and continue your pattern, making one at the top, one at the bottom, as plan your space at the top, plan your space at the bottom. Make sure that every time you make a new space that you're using your ruler to make sure that those 2 spaces are symmetrical, okay? You don't have to make the marks right there that tell you, I'm drawing this upside down, this is 2 centimeters. You do not have to make the 2 centimeter marks on there. I am, for illustrative purposes, writing the 2 on there, 2 centimeters, so that you can see what my measurement is. So if you want to copy that, you can, okay? So that's one example. This is, of course, what we start with. Let me show you a next step. Next step is going to be, let's see. Let me just go through at the beginning. Okay, so step 1, of course, label your paper at the bottom and choose your colors, okay? Once you have your colors chosen, label the colors at the top and then color them in. Once that's done, start planning your space. Let me show you this one. The line of symmetry is in the middle. Let me zoom in. The line of symmetry is in the middle. Above that and below that, use your ruler and measure one symmetry of space, okay, and then draw a straight line, okay. After that, you can use your 1.5 centimeter measurement, or you can use a 2 centimeter measurement. Once you're finished, once you have your design complete, you've gone all the way to the top and all the way to the bottom with your design, then you can color all your A's, color all your B's. And the last little tip, the last little hint that I'm going to give you when you're coloring, if you'll get some sort of a straight edge, I like to not use my rulers because the edges of the rulers, they just kind of need a break anyway, but we only have limited amount of rulers. And we have a whole bunch of these. These are gift cards that have been cut into fourths. We use these for spreading glue. We use these for working with clay. And now we are going to use them as an edge. I'm going to, let's see, I've done my reds. I've done my aqua greens. So I tell my students, like, let's say that you and somebody else are sharing the harvest gold. Okay, skip over your C colors. If you're sharing that with somebody, then go ahead and go to the next color. My next color is maroon. I know that because it's written on here. So I picked up that maroon. And then my tip is, let me zoom in so you guys can see this a little bit better. My tip is, so I don't want to go past the edge of this. So I'm going to put my little gift card, my plastic card right there. I'm going to use my colored pencil. I'm going to go back and forth and back and forth. Once it hits that card, it's not going to go any further. Okay, so I'm going to do that on the left side and the right side. I can flip it over and do the same thing over here. Okay, and then I'm going to go through. That's a C. I'm only looking for letter D's. That's a C, A, B. There's another letter D. I'm going to do the same thing. Put my gift card right here, or any kind of plastic card, or I've even used a piece of paper or a sticky note before, just to try to help me. And this, go ahead and make your marks horizontal. You don't really have to worry about blending colors or anything like that. Just make them horizontal and nice and smooth and press firmly. I like to display my design with my final weaving because I think it's neat for viewers to view what your sketch looked like and then what your final product looked like. Okay, happy planning and happy weaving. This is your art teacher. Bye.